3 Iranian boats tried to block the passage of a British ship in the Gulf yesterday, but withdrew after a warship warned them off over the radio. The UK government confirmed the incident, which comes almost a week after Royal Marines boarded an Iranian tanker off Gibraltar. Euronews reporter Hanan Fajandi joins me now. Hanan, just explain to us, very complicated, what happened?
Well, there's a bit of confusion of what effectively happened there, with both sides of the feud rejecting the other's version. The British government, as you said that 3 Iranian vessels tried to seize a British oil tanker that was making its way through the Strait of Hormuz into the Persian Gulf. They've said that the gunboats tried to force it into Iranian waters, but were scared off by a UK Royal Navy frigate, the HMS Montrose, which was escorting the oil tanker. Now, the frigate reportedly pointed its weapons on the vessels and warned them verbally via radio to back off and abort the mission. Now, Iran's Revolutionary Guards rejected the claims. They've said that their patrol boats were carrying out routine duties, normal duties. And on top of that, Iran's foreign minister has said that the British claim is simply worthless. Now, the timing of this is far from coincidental and has to be taken into account here, because this comes just a week after the British Marine seized an Iranian oil tanker off Gibraltar, and that sparked quite a bit of anger in Tehran, with multiple officials threatening Britain and threatening retaliation. Just yesterday, President Hassan Rouhani said that Britain would face consequences over the seizure of the tanker. Now, according to U.S. officials, there was an American aircraft that was flying over the area when the incident happened, and that it recorded the whole event. They are yet to release the footage, but we are expecting more details to emerge as and if they do so.
And of course, we'll be following that. Hanan Fajani, thank you ever so much for that update. All of this comes as Iran started breaching limits put on its nuclear activities under a 2015 deal with world powers, the country's way of responding to US-imposed sanctions. Well, France has been trying to ease tensions and help save the deal. Let's go to our correspondent Annalise Borges in Paris for more on this. Annalise, morning to you. What is it that France is doing to try and help retain that relationship and that deal?
Good morning, Rosie. Well, France's President Emmanuel Macron has been a devoted defender of the JCPOA, of the Iranian nuclear deal. He has been doing so, has been trying to salvage this deal for quite some time now. But this time around, in recent weeks, he has really been trying hard to play the role of mediator. He has had 4 conversations with US President Donald Trump on this issue in recent weeks, and at least 2 phone calls with Hassan Rouhani, the Iranian president. And of course, this week he has sent his top diplomatic advisor, Emmanuel Bon, to Tehran. This is the 2nd trip Emmanuel Bon makes to Iran this month alone. All this is part of France's attempt to establish a de-escalation strategy. Whether or not it will succeed, well, for now, this is very uncertain. Of course, Emmanuel Macron's last attempt to salvage this deal was last year, when he tried to convince Donald Trump to stay in it. Of course, that has failed miserably. This week, Emmanuel Macron really shown a tougher stance on Iran, condemning Tehran's decision to resume enriching uranium, saying that that was a grave breach of the 2015 nuclear commitments made by that country. But so far, Emmanuel Macron seems to be insisting on diplomacy and hoping that it will yield results.
Europe is stuck in a difficult position, isn't it, between the US and Iran?
Absolutely. Europe and the so-called E3, the 3 European powers that co-signed this deal, France, Germany and the UK, really seem to be squeezed from both sides. On the one hand, you've got Tehran putting pressure on these countries to fulfill their promises to resume Iranian oil exports, of course, a crucial source of revenue for that country and its struggling economy. And on the other hand, you've got the United States hindering all kinds of efforts for that to happen, saying that if European companies do make deals with Iran, well, they will not get access to U.S. markets. And now Donald Trump coming out with that tweet, of course, saying that increased sanctions will be imposed soon as a reflection of this decision by Iran to resume enriching uranium. Well, Iran says it will not revert this decision until it can establish a full economic relation with the EU. He says that European countries have done close to nothing to keep their side of the bargain. And now, of course, all eyes are on this meeting next Monday between foreign affairs ministers. They are set to convene, and they could, of course, trigger the so-called dispute resolution mechanism that could see new sanctions imposed on Iran. If that happens, well, that would be, of course, the final blow to the Iranian nuclear deal, something that Emmanuel Macron and French diplomats are desperately trying to avoid.
Annelise Borges live for us in Paris, our correspondent. Thank you.